know about this one.
So let's get back to game 2. Again, keeping the theme of not being satisfied. To the untrained eye, it would seem that the Heat were satisfied with Nikola Jokic getting his and limiting the other guys, or the others as some people like to call them. Don't tell that to Eric Spoelstra.
Sometimes when teams play against Jokic, you turn him into a scorer, you turn him into a passer, and he controls the game. He only had 4 assists tonight.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's just, that's the untrained eye that says something like that.
I do think what Miami did tonight, they said, all right, we're going to make Jokic a scorer. Let's take away other people.
All right, well, maybe Steve Kerr and me and everybody else, Kurt Helin is the untrained eye, because I think that was Spo just basically not wanting to confirm anything that would suggest that there is a way to limit the best player in the world. Because, Kurt, this to me is a strategy as old as basketball itself, whether it was Jordan, whether it's LeBron. Let the superstar go off. Do not let his supporting cast beat you. That is like, one guy cannot beat you by himself. That's just it's so obvious to even the untrained eye, because it is basic logic. It's basic basketball logic, right?
Exactly. Look, the Nuggets are the most dangerous when it's raining from everywhere, right? When he's scoring 25 or whatever, but dishing out 12 assists, and Jamal Murray's getting his, and Aaron Gordon's getting his, and Michael Porter Jr. is knocking down threes. That's when they're unstoppable. What they did last night was what they want to do, what everybody said going into the series, which was simply, hey, man, don't let everybody else go off, make him score. That struck me as Eric Spoelstra not wanting to poke the bear, right? So it's like, man, let's just keep it like this. I don't want to make Jokic mad. He's the best player on the floor. That's how I read it. I'm with you. I don't. That's what everybody's been saying for that's what I wrote before the series. It's what everybody's been writing.
It ain't rocket science, Michael. In the watch party, remember the spades analogy in the watch party. I ain't gonna waste anybody's time doing it again. But it was like they got the big joker. You ain't beating the big joker, but you can still have a winning hand. You can still get more books if you cutting those other suits, those diamonds, those clubs, and those hearts, Michael.
Absolutely, and I really want to get to this, Kurt, with you. Look. At most, we got 5 games left in the NBA season. 5 games. How long, and Michael and I talked about this earlier, how long are we going to continue to say, oh, wow, can you believe Miami is in this position? Or, Miami, Denver fell asleep, but, Miami is not that good. Whether it's their Jokic approach or not, how long before we just say, okay, this is what we got? What we got is 2 potential champions, Stokely. Yeah, I know. I'm with you, Stokely. 2 potential champions.
I think he's amening you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the other thing we need is another graphic about all the undrafted players so big that it blocks out the play for like 2 minutes on the screen. That'd be great. There is something to the idea that, man, we're selling the Heat short. Like these. You can say they develop the players, you can do whatever. Jimmy Butler is an all-NBA, capable of being a top 10 player in the NBA when he wants to be, like during the playoffs when he cranks it up guy. And they've got the right mix around him to make this work. Bam is an elite defender and versatile. They got shooters. They got versatile guys everywhere. We are selling them short, and they're still not the better team in this series. It's just, dude, Denver was arrogant last night. They played arrogant.
Are you sure? But are you sure, Kurt? Are you sure they're not the better team? I don't know anymore.
Based on what? They don't have the best player, but why aren't they the better team?
I genuinely believe the part. I mean, look, everything they did wrong, they still all, like you were talking about, man. Jamal Murray front rims that thing, or we're going to overtime. I still think that their depth, when they turn it on, when they are focused on defense, Michael Malone was fuming after the game last night, absolutely fuming at his team's effort. And Jeff Green was even more direct. Like, they know they just did not play hard enough for stretches of that game.
Kurt, I define the better team not as the more talented team, not as the team that maybe is the more explosive. And Denver's offense, even with Jokic having 4 assists, was still pretty good last night. I define the better team as, wait for it, the team that plays better. the team that plays harder, better, longer, and in critical situations, which the Heat are more than comfortable in, executes better. So, I mean, to Michael Holley's point, we could be sitting up here after a 6 or 7 game series or 5 game series in favor of Miami, still talking about the Nuggets being the better team, when Miami might be the one holding the trophy at the end of this, which is why it boggles the mind that there's even a conversation in Denver about effort. You said it a second ago. The Nuggets were arrogant. How does that happen when you were the disrespected team?
Great question. After everything you watched leading up to this, after watching Milwaukee, after watching Boston in particular, I was stunned that we saw that. I think the one difference is when things started to go bad for Boston, they unraveled. They completely and totally unraveled and were a mess. In game one, things started to go bad for Denver. They got the ball to Jokic. He put some buckets in. They settled things down in the fourth. They held on and won. They didn't win last night, but they made that push at the end. I don't think they're going to unravel. I don't think they're going to fall apart the way Boston did, but they can't. There's no margin for error with this team. Like you said, man, you've got to credit Miami's just utter relentlessness night in and night out. And if you give them an inch, man, they're taking the mile.
Yeah. Hey, before we let you go and add to your Sky Miles or whatever your preferred carrier is as you depart Denver from Miami, real quick, this LeBron, Kyrie manufactured. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right. I just want to make sure because I'm just like, I'm like, you know what?
By the way,
yeah,
you covered it. I'm in the. By the way, first off, it's coordinated when two guys leak it at once. Like two guys, two news breakers
from opposite sides, who both are embedded with each player's camps.
Exactly. I still think this was completely in the LeBron pressuring the Lakers to bring in Kyrie camp, because the Lakers largely want to run it back, bring back Austin Reeves, bring back Rui, and I'll just say under the new CBA, there's like no way.
Thank you. That's the other part.
All together,
3 max players.
You just simply can't. 3 max players under the new CBA.
They got to take a pay cut.
You're like,
Haynes wrote that this story. Somebody have to take a pay cut. Who's doing that?
That's my favorite story going around now. Hey, maybe LeBron plays this year, but then what he really wants is a buyout so he can just sign for the minimum somewhere. I'm like, really? Really?
Kyrie is taking a pay cut.
LeBron, man.
No, Kyrie, yeah, I'll take less. No, that's why he got in Dallas in the first place. Wasn't trying to take a pay cut.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Come on.
Another quick question. Another quick one.
Fast.
You got top 10 players. You got Shaq in top 10. Is it Hakeem over Shaq? Is it KD over Shaq? Steph Curry over Shaq? Anybody over Shaq at number 10?
I looked at that list. First off, I'd have Duncan a little higher. I'd have Curry and Hakeem in. I would have Shaq and Bird out.
Bird, yeah.
See, I like Bird, but Bird's in the KD 11 to 15 range for me.
You know who ain't never coming out? Like ever? You know who's never coming out? Russell and Wilt. And Wilt. Both of them. It's like everybody got sensitive to never take them 2 dudes out.
Yeah, no.
And Kurt, did I hear you say you got LeBron at 1? You got LeBron.
No, we did not say that.
That is not what he said. I did not go down that road.
Safe travel.
The altitude ain't that high in Denver.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.